What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers, and I really hope everyone had a pretty good week and a pretty profitable week, made some good trades, some good investments, but more importantly, you stayed sharp, you stayed focused, you stayed positive, you stayed confident, right? Because when we know what we know, then that's what we know, and that's it. Doesn't matter what the hell's going on, right? So basically what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at IBM. Now, IBM recently posted earnings a couple of days ago, and they actually popped the stock up to a little over 140 a share. I don't know, apparently the beat on the EPS side got people excited, but the problem is everyone has been beating up IBM over the years, talking about a potential dying company. Now, I understand that revenue has been fluctuating. However, they came in light on these estimates here. And if we just back it up here, this was initially after they reported earnings. It was in the Discord here. It hit like 140. It was in this rising wedge. I called out the puts, and then you see it immediately pulled back to sub 139, had a little bit of a rally, and obviously completely shit the bed and dropped down to about 137 and a quarter before the close yesterday. So if you were in the Discord at around 140 and you saw me call out 138 puts, they went from roughly, I don't remember, maybe like 52, 53 each. And then the next time I checked, it was trading like, I don't know, like 98 by like 107 or something. So probably could have made yourself a quick 100% return. But now we move over here to IBM here daily, and you can see it's like it's fighting to go higher, but it's almost as if the street knows it's supposed to be lower because the company just kind of like sucks. So right here, what we're seeing is we had that big drop again at the end of the day yesterday, and then you had a little bit of a rally. And then right here, see this candle? This weird red candle right here. Might be a little hard for you guys to see, but you can see it popped up, it dropped down, it didn't know which direction it wanted to go, then they rose it back up, as you see here, up to about 139.30, but then they crashed it right back down again. I made a lot of calls very early on, just like within the first 5-10 minutes, talking about some puts on a couple of situations that were just a little overinflated. And if you were to get in, get out very quickly, fast money, scalp trade, then obviously, you did very well based on my recommendations in the Discord this morning. But hey, if you weren't involved, that's fine. No harm, no foul. Here we're talking about IBM, right? So right now, 139.54. The stock's up a little over a point here. About 0.8%, okay? It's sitting right here at about a pivot point, I believe, 139.50, 139.59. Let me take this off. 139.59 is our pivot point, and you can see it broke up and then rejected, and you can see today it hit a high 139.64 and then pulled back, and the stock right now 139.57. So interestingly enough, it is actually kind of chilling, well, literally just got above that point here, but it's approaching this apex in this rising wedge. And as you see, 1230, maybe going out to maybe like 1245-ish. But in my opinion, IBM should break down. So that's why I wanted to make a quick video here, just quickly based on the technicals more than the fundamentals. Just to let you know, in my opinion, we may have a potential short-term trade idea. And if you wanted to position yourself in a pullback on IBM, that would make sense. That might not be the worst call here. Now, I understand, again, they're trying to pump this up, and it's technically kind of been in a little bit of an uptrend here. As we see here, we're going back, well, what is this, end of June? Now let's go a little bit more. See, as we see here, we go back here to about the middle of May, and you can see the stock was down at 120. They ran it all the way up to 140, really for no reason, and then that's what happens. Obviously, it pulls back because it shouldn't have been up. Now they brought it back up to 140, but it kind of resisted itself. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that a lot of people are undetermined here with IBM. We're looking at a $126 billion market cap, companies paying a 4.8% dividend yield, trading 64 times earnings, right? So could be viewed as a little overvalued here. They're still bringing in decent money, and you can see a slight rebound taking place here in 2022. However, the profit margins have been pulling back. So obviously their prices have gone up, and now the costs have increased as well. So even the increased revenue that we're seeing, it's still eating away at the profit margin, which of course Wall Street doesn't like to see. But you can see going back, look at this, company was 80 plus billion, then started pulling back to 77, lost a chunk of it in 2020 down into the 50s, took 2.5 years to climb back up to 60 plus billion for the year. So right now they're trading a little over 2 times last year's revenue, which may not be viewed as overvalued. However, again, we have a very, very high PE here north of 60. And if you ask any traders or any investors, I'm sure they will let you know that out of all the tech companies available to trade and invest in, IBM is one that is probably not on their watch list. This is a company, again, this was Big Blue. This was a staple that everyone used to invest in and dividend reinvest in, and it worked out very well for everyone over the years. However, as of late, again, the last couple of years, the company has kind of just slowly been decreasing in size, in business, in revenue. So to find a company like this that fits that criteria, that is in an ascending wedge that we can try to time near a top and catch a big pullback, which may be potentially justified really in the numbers, then you can't call me crazy for doing that. But here, I really do think that it will continue to stay tight here in this wedge, and it's only a matter of time. Again, potentially in the next 30 to 60 minutes, maybe this can happen. But in my opinion, IBM should be lower, should not be higher. And if we switch over here again, you can see the pivot points here. You got the 50-day and the 200-day very close here. Look at the RSI sitting there now at about 69. And you can see it did get up above 70 for a little bit there on that rally. But again, that rally, as we said, was kind of bullshit, right? Because we had this massive explosion from 120 to 140, and then we basically gave back more than half of it on an immediate chunk down and sell-off just within a couple of days. So we know, in my opinion anyway, where the stock is supposed to be trading. And that's why, again, when I see a struggling company that is rising, that's when you step in and you bet against it. Because, of course, when times are good, people aren't expecting the shit to hit the fan, right? So a situation like this, your puts will also be cheaper than expected. But here again, we have an RSI of about 69. You can see the stock has chunked up and is now broken above the top Bollinger Band. So that's why even if you get in now at like 139.60, and it breaks down out of this wedge and drops even a point and a half. If you step in here, 138 puts, that's what I mean. Quick scalp trades, in and out, fast money, easy money. But looks like the MACD crossed, obviously. I mean, the stock chunked up there a little bit after earnings. But, I don't know if it's going to pull back like all the way here to sub 134, but could probably see 138. And again, yesterday, they reported earnings. Went up and then pulled all the way back to the low 137s. So, again, for me to say it's going to potentially pull back to the low 138s or 137.5, you can't call me crazy for thinking that. Switching over here to the weekly, and you can see the top Bollinger Band on the weekly, 139.18, and now you can see we are slightly above that and were for a little while. RSI still climbing here, sitting at about 60.5. So the stock could, of course, continue to keep climbing. However, it has been in a pretty decent uptrend for about May, June, July, for almost 90 days straight, really, minus that one big pullback during the middle of June there. So again, that's why, in my opinion, I do think it's only a matter of time before it does pull back. The MACD, of course, has been chunking up with the rest of the stock. We had a good bounce here back after the sell-off, bouncing off of that 50-day moving average of about 130 and change. But again, right here with this rising wedge, and these markets, it looked like they dropped immediately at the open, and they're slowly trying to climb and remain stable. And based on my experience, in my opinion, this may be, again, like the calm before the storm. Because don't remember the big sell-offs and chunk downs that we had yesterday, right? So we may potentially see maybe like a 1:30, 2 o'clock, maybe even 3 o'clock random market sell-off and pullback. So anyone who's long, if you're in any calls right now or you took any day trades in some shares and you're seeing a little bit of a run, a little bit of a pop, don't be afraid to take the money and run, right? Profit is profit. No one ever went broke taking profits. And if there is a storm coming and a big correction taking place, then obviously if you lock in profits and now you're sitting in some cash, you can take advantage of any situations that may present themselves. But again, This is what I always say. We don't force trades, right? We take what the market gives us, and you're basically seeing here that since this stock began trading today, it has been slowly climbing into this ascending wedge and breaking as we speak potentially. So I'm going to end it there. And once again, Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comment section. I'm usually very quick to reply. Thumbs up, algorithm helps out the video, helps me get more eyes on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. I am calling out multiple scalp trades and quick day trades in the Discord. Everyone's pretty much doing very well in the Discord in the short term. I let you guys know about any longer term trades I have. If you guys type a symbol to me, I try to look it up and give you a quick analysis, or potentially try to make a video on it when you mention it. And I'll do all of that for you guys. All I ask, push the subscribe button. That is how you help me help you. But moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky and they're volatile and they're uncertain. So I want to wish everyone success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you in the next vid.